just as you find us, for we are the awkward people, the poets and the artists, the makers of music and the tellers of tales. We are the ones you could always rely upon to say the wrong things, to speak out of turn, ignoring all your rules, the boundaries of good behaviour, burning the corporate uniform right before your eyes. We cannot keep silent. If there's mischief to make, we will make it. Inappropriate comments? We'll give them to you by the bucket load. We will embarrass you at every opportunity, spill every single bean we find. And if those beans are magic beans that grow a beanstalk to the highest cloud, suddenly you praise our wondrous minds, our curious ideas and strange imaginings, forgetting that these things didn't come from any quiet or easy place, that roses only grow from mucky soil. So we will always leap before we look, sooner be sorry than safe, laugh at those you say we would revere. Be inappropriate, step out of line, say what's on our minds, and never will we once stop being awkward. Now this is my first time down at Katie Fitzgerald's, and it's the most lovely little venue. And can we give a shout out to the Katie Fitzgerald staff? Yeah. And to our resident Katie on the Killer Hills. Organising us, getting us into line. Poet wrangling is an art. Now this is another venue, a little bit more folk horror than this. This is called Hostelry, a tiny pub that only locals know. Search how you might, you'll never find it. Down narrow hedge-bound lanes, half hidden by an ancient house, the yard is filled with old-style cars with obsolescent number plates. It stands crammed with local folks. If you've had an invitation and a guide, you are honoured. Most people never step beyond the heavy open door. Speak quietly. Do not announce yourself. They'll stare at you, the regulars, if they hear you. Give the evening an awkward feeling. Some things cannot be shared. The decor hasn't changed for 80 years. Framed photos of a ball that won a prize and a shooting party all in tweeds, the handwritten caption turning brown. And those present at the dinner for some charitable event, the men in formal jackets and the ladies, curiously, all dressed the same, flowing white satin, high necklines, stiff expressions. Shotguns hang on the wall, so insecure it would be illegal if seen with modern eyes. But with nothing modern here, a view like that is out of place. An old man smokes his pipe indoors. A woman laughs, selling skinned rabbits for old money. The beer, brewed out the back, is the best you've ever tasted. Relish it. It doesn't travel. No sample bottles send you on your way, just memories. Depart now, safe into the owl dark night. Ignore the cries of foxes. You will never come this way again. Oh, someone's already fled.
I've been holding it in.
Yeah, we'll be back.
We could have crossed the boundaries, stayed sober enough for achievement, and seen the sun at midnight, as so few others have. Built a palace for our expectations, danced on the tip of the turning world. We could have done so many things. But it was summer, and the air in the city was heavy and warm, languid with the buzz of flies and lawn mowers. Activity was an effort. We had wine and a balcony, long evenings to sit out and watch the fascination of traffic, clotted hauling on the street below. So we stayed where we were, watching it from a distance. And we opened another bottle, not noticing the nights were growing longer. Only in the autumn did we remember our plans and think of what we might have done. Now, a few days ago, it was the anniversary of the 2011 earthquake and tsunami in Japan. This is what I wrote. Actually, for the 5th anniversary. Though I've got quite a few Japanese friends, so and I remember that day we were all sort of on Facebook working, trying to get contact with one another. Their anniversary. Every year, as it passes, freezes faces into photographs. The memories of views through lost windows, becoming a little less exact each time, till the only thing remembered is memory itself. Once again, the 11th day of March comes round. 5 years since the earthquake, the tsunami, those long, uncertain online hours, waiting for friends to post a tweet, update a status, send a word to reassure. Afterwards came the photographs, that perpetual question, has anybody seen? Asked over and again, answered only in silence, 5 years silence now. The blog is left with no new entries, and a demo song on SoundCloud waits unfinished. Digital ghosts abandoning the web on the day time stopped. The date is held precise. The recollections now begin to grow a little vague. Yet other things I should commemorate have no anniversary, no specific date, things too subtle for a line in the diary. The meeting of a stranger who becomes a little closer over time until a friendship grows, or maybe love. No tagging in the calendar for that. The time when routine crosses into boredom, the time a situation might be saved, are known quite imprecisely. And that day I stood on the Malvern Hills with the wind unstyling my hair, watching the breeze-tossed birds blow back paper scraps across the sky. Below stretched out the town, the fields, 1,000 lives continuing down there. No anniversary for that day. Only the moment, the lasting memory. Oh, this one I wrote in Birmingham. Interesting, that reference to the old library. This references the new library. This is the sunlight comes from somewhere else. This city could be anywhere, and that's the joy of it. A population rooted in its rootlessness, transplanted from everywhere else into this warm soil. Everyone is from somewhere else, and everyone is here. The colours of today are teal and mauve, aquamarine and orange all together. The building work will never end. New towers grow ever outward, shimmering in a heat haze in a gleam of sun-slit windows. The sunlight comes from somewhere else. The horizon rushes back to make more room. Someone is building tram lines to keep up with it. A man rides a machine to sweep the streets, but will never clean them all, as new-built streets unroll forever. The library has everything, apart from books. I sit in a Turkish cafe, eating Persian cakes, trying to remember where I came from, trying to remember who I used to be. And finally, now where I come from, the trees don't like me very much. Whenever I'm walking round from the pub, they keep on trying to trip me up. This is evil trees. Evil trees stand at the edge of the pavement, resentfully, patiently, hating the humans who long ago brought them, innocent saplings, into the city. And now they are old and bitter, brooding on the humiliation of years of petrol fumes and fast food stench, fouling and smearing the delicate pores of each spring's bright fresh leaves, of rubbish thrown under nauseated trunks, of graffiti carved into sensitive bark like razor blades cutting into skin, of despicable acts of incontinent dogs. They watch humanity with loathing, filling their sour, arboreal souls, longing for revenge. It comes at closing time. Cold air hits human lungs as, staggering home, a happy drunk, distracted by some random thought, the memory of a slurred joke, steps too close to an evil tree. At once it has its prey. From beneath the pavement sneaks a root, a strong brown tentacle, which neatly loops the unsteady ankle, pulls suddenly, and a hated human sprawls undignified on the filthy pavement. Another fallen casualty in the ancient war between drunks and trees. Looking up into the branches where the sharp twigs crackle, rattling with their spiky laughter as the contortions of twisted wood swarm together to create the image of a spiteful face looking down and cackling.